we're having to close down. And I think for our friends in Italy, it's been more of an urgent situation because you've been in lockdown for a few weeks. So they asked that we need people to buy a voucher to kind of tide us through this, to get us through till the time when the restrictions are lifted. So that idea kind of popped into my head, and then I spoke with Lior and Rosie and Charlotte about this idea, because my original idea was to do a simple blog post. And I remember Lior pointing out, saying, Kash, well, the girls pointing out that why don't we do something more? And the biggest problem I found that a lot of the hostels didn't have a voucher scheme to sell vouchers on their website. Most people were offering me email addresses, and you know, it wouldn't have been very effective me putting just a blog post out. So it was the idea of all of us to put a campaign website where we can set you up with a gift card, which Leah will speak more about with this partnership with GiftUp. So I'm shit at technical stuff. I'm absolutely, just goes right over my head. I'm just good at writing and talking, maybe a good game, and hopefully a good one, a useful one. But yeah, it's been a long slog from what was just simply an idea in my head to now it's become an actual campaign where we have so many hostels now. What, Beatrice, 70 hostels now on board the campaign so far?
80. Yeah.
80. So it's just amazing how quickly in 1 week we've turned from a simple conversation into now a campaign. So yeah, that's how we are here now up to this point.
Awesome, thanks, Kash. So I'll take this opportunity to introduce Lee from GiftUp. There are partners in this campaign as well. So Lee, if you want to talk a bit about you and the business.
Yeah, cool. Hi, everyone. I'm completely opposite of what Kash is. I'm completely technically capable. I'm an idiot with words. So I think me and you, Kash, we should get together and make children or something, because I think they'd be like perfectly formed little people. So we built GiftUp 3 years ago, me and my business partner, Alex, and we built it for small, everyday businesses, really, not your big corporations, which is what everybody else seems to be doing all the time. So we were very empathetic towards owner-occupier businesses, should we say. Maybe got a few employees, a few not, and really want to make the best software out there. We're really good at making software, and we just wanted to do a really, really good job. And Leo got in touch a week ago, basically, and we sort of like, let's do something together. I mean, we were doing a wider initiative anyway, and it just seemed that we could really help you guys out. I mean, that's where we are.
Awesome, Lee. Thank you so much. So moving on to the next question for Rosie or Charlotte. I don't know which one of you prefers to answer. So what will this campaign do for hostels?
Yes, so hi, I'll answer this one. So for those of you who don't know, the kind of ultimate goal of this campaign is to bring hostels some cash flow during this period. And to do this, we're going to be encouraging travellers to buy vouchers that they can use towards a future stay at your hostel. But I'd say the benefits of joining this campaign versus, say, just setting up your own vouchers, as Kash said, some hostels have done that, is really the support from us in the setup and marketing of the campaign. And so we will support you with the setup. We've created guides for each step, including setting up your vouchers through to marketing them to your audience. And we ourselves will also be marketing this campaign as a whole to get your message out to the widest possible audience we can. And so we're doing this in a few ways. We're currently building a website, which will be the platform where all the hostels who are part of this campaign will be listed on the website. And the website will explain the campaign, have the listings for the hostels, including kind of your story, a picture, and then a link through to your vouchers. And we will also be running an Instagram account solely dedicated to the campaign, where we can share your stories and really hit those kind of the emotion behind it. And what we love about working with hostels at Stay the Night, and I'm sure it's the same at Hostel.Consulting and Kash, is hearing your stories. It's so different from working with hotels, really, because there's so many independents and the stories are always different and interesting. And so we want to really communicate that through the marketing for the campaign. And then we'll also be working on a PR campaign to promote Adopt A Hostel to a much wider global audience. We'll be reaching out to our media contacts, including some influencers, bloggers, and we'll be working with Kash to reach out to his amazing network and to really try and spread the word for you. And as I mentioned, as part of the support, we will be providing a marketing guide, a kind of pack that will include templates and tell you how best to push out the campaign to your own hostel audiences, whether that's through email, social media. This is a really important step, and it's something that we're willing to support on if you need advice on this beyond the guide. But it just means that I think in the case of this, the people most likely to buy your vouchers in the first instance will be people who have stayed with you or heard of you and have like an emotional affiliation already with your hostel, who've had a great time and really want to support you. So that's something else we'll be doing. I hope that explains a little bit.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rosie. And so, Lior, so what a hostel that wants to sign up for this, what do they need to do and what will happen?
So first of all, I kind of just want to bounce a little bit on what Rosie said, that this campaign it has a potential to really help a lot of hostels and save them possibly from closing their doors for good. But I only think it has that potential if we really make it big and we make it work from everyone. So, I mean, I'm kind of, I'm disappointed a bit that there's only 20 people on this call, including the panelists. We have 80 hostels that have signed up. Even of the ones that signed up, not everyone opened up the welcome email. Those that have, a small percentage have actually completed the setup. So I would ask for your help, all of you, to send the word out there. I don't know if some people are thinking that this is, I don't know, some way for us to make money off this or something, and it's not that. It's just about getting help out there for the hostel. I really feel that the independent hostel concept is in a risk of disappearing. You know, it's on the brink of extinction, because a lot of small independent hostels don't have the financial power to withstand months of being closed, waiting for tourism to come back from other countries. And we really have to fight right now to save these small independent hostels. So it's not like if you get other hostels to sign up for this, that it's going to be less opportunity for people to buy your gift cards because there's more. It's quite the opposite. The more people are on here, the more people we have on the campaign, the more the media will see this as something serious and will get the word out there to an audience that we're not necessarily reaching. Like with Kash's help and with Stay the Night's help with the media, with the marketing, we're going to reach our own audience of our hostels, but we want to be able to reach other people. I mean, people are being glued now to the news, they're reading. So now we have that audience to capture. So even hostel people that have gone to hostels but don't necessarily follow them, that don't have this, we don't have the reach to get to them. People that maybe have never even heard of hostels. This is why we're kind of telling the stories, and we're going to be highlighting what is a hostel concept. So to get this word out there, I really encourage you to go through all the setup as quick as you can. The sooner we have it, the better. It can be done, I think, in a short amount of time. And then also get other hostels to sign up for this, because we really need a voice out there from everyone. So support each other to get it done. We have our email as well, where we can help you with the setup. And this brings me, I guess, to answer the real question about the setup and what you can do. We've sent out a tutorial to set yourself up with Gift App. Do follow that tutorial to the letter. I think some people just log into Gift App and see, 5-step process, and they just do that and say, okay, I'm done. But the setup that we've created is very focused on Adopt A Hostel as a campaign, not just creating your own gift card the way you would like to, although you do have the flexibility to do that, to put the amounts that you want on the gift cards. But we've also made it, and we're communicating clearly that people can just donate, so they don't have to buy a gift card. That's good for you, because we have seen with experience of other hostels that are selling gift cards that some people want to help the cause because they love the hostel and they want to support it, but they don't necessarily want the gift card. They just want to help. So it's good for you to be able to see how much money in the future you don't have to give out in free accommodation. And it's also sending out the message of, you know, yeah, there's gift cards and we can give you something in return for your donation, but you can also just donate. So it's sending the word out there that really we need help as independent hostels, and we appreciate donations or purchase of gift cards. Another thing as well with the gift cards, we have decided to offer a 10% discount on the gift card as a way of incentivizing that and thanking people. So it's like, thank you for your support. We'll give you a €100 value for €90. We'll also have to make it very clear on our campaign and in our communications that, yes, it needs to be understood that you could potentially buy a gift card to a hostel that then closes its doors for good, and that gift card now is worthless. You're not going to be able to redeem it. I think we should also talk about, that's something that the campaign, we can talk about this, but maybe the possibility of redeeming the full value or a portion of at another hostel that's part of the campaign. We'd have to get your guys okay on that, but we kind of need to talk about the possibility of that. Anyways, that's aside the point. So what we need you to do is to go through that checklist, verify that all the steps are completed correctly. We're going to send out a verification guide as well, just so that when you're done the work, you can say, okay, well, do I have this? Do I have this? Let's look at it, look at the widget this way. Let's put in the promo code, see if it works. So these are steps that we will make in order to verify you and have you show up on the campaign. But it'll save us a lot of time if you guys do your own verification. And then when you send it out to us and say, okay, we're ready, our verification is much more simple. We just check it over, see that everything's done the way it's supposed to be, and we don't have to send you an email saying you haven't activated your promotion code, for example. And yeah, like I said, keep up with our mailings. We've created a Facebook group as well, so that we can discuss. So if somebody has an issue about the gift card or the marketing or something, then we can discuss it as a group, not just individually. So that'll help our communication as well and make sure everyone's on the same page. We've already sent out the link for the Facebook group. There's also a Facebook page. Don't think that if you've joined the page, you're in the group. You have to join the Adopt A Hostel community using the link that we've sent. If you haven't gotten the link, don't worry, we'll send it out again anyways in future communications. But yeah, just please be aware of the communications that we're sending. If you have any questions, let us know, and just follow the steps that are in there. I know a lot of people are busy, even though they have a closed hostel, but please don't just click on the first link and continue. Read through the whole email and see what it is that we're asking you to do, and let us know if you have any questions.
Awesome, thanks a lot, Lior. So speaking of questions, we'll get through that part. So I don't know if anybody in the audience has a question, feel free to unmute yourselves and turn on the camera and ask the question, any question you may have. Or if there's any question that any of the panelists have been getting from any hostel that you think might be helpful to reply now as well.
And if no one has any questions, that's great. It just means that we're communicating well, I guess. But maybe if you give your thoughts or opinions, ideas on how to make this go even bigger and better to help support everyone, whatever comments or questions that you have, this is a great time.
Yeah, hi to everybody. This gift card campaign, if people buy the campaign, is it linked to our website in order that how is going to happen the money to get into our bank account?
Yeah, so we won't link to your website because we want to make it very seamless, and it's all about really, again, the pitching out the campaign, not necessarily just the hostel. So we're going to create, Rosie might be able to help me with this, but we're going to create, I believe, an iframe, or we're going to get your widget and display it on that website so they can select the hostel, filter by location if they want to. So let's say somebody says, okay, well, I want a gift card for Portugal because I'm planning on going there. I see there's a hostel in Lisbon, and then see a list of hostels. Or they can search for your hostel directly if they want to donate to you in specific. And then they'll buy it from there. Now, the setup that you do with Gift Up will have its own payment portal, your own payment portal. So the money's not coming to us and then going to you. It's going directly to you. And usually Gift Up has a commission that's 3.49, I believe. But they've given the commission relief for hostels that sign up for the campaign. So the first I think it's 5,000 euros until July 1st will be commission free. So now, obviously, whatever payment portal you use will also have its own conditions. We will reach out to Stripe and see if they can also help by giving some relief at this time as well. But I understand that they also have their own costs in doing so. They don't get the full percentage of their commission or their payment fee. But unfortunately, it seems like you'll lose a small percentage of the payment fee, but that's the cost of making this possible. So you just set up whether it's PayPal, Stripe, there's other payment methods that maybe Lee could discuss, but it's all in the setup of Gift App. And then the money is directly linked to your bank or whichever, however that payment method handles it. Did that answer your question? You're muted.
Okay, I just have to find out how to set it up with PayPal or whatever, but I'll find out. If not, I'll ask.
Yeah, and I think Lee can talk about this.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I think PayPal are pretty expensive and shockingly awful. So we never recommend them on those two bases alone. What we do recommend for our EU customers is they go with Stripe, because their fees are capped due to EU legislation. So they're between 1% and 2%, whereas Stripe are between 3 and 4. So it's a significant difference. And you'll sell a lot more gift cards if you use Stripe.
Sorry, Lee, you said Stripe was between 1 and 2, and then you said Stripe is between 3 and 4. You meant
okay. Stripe I think is 1.5% or 1.9. I forget which it is. I can lose track of these things. But PayPal is definitely 3.4. It's terrible. So and you'll also sell more gift cards with Stripe because they have a much better user journey than PayPal do. So it's a lot more direct. You pay with a credit card. Yeah.
Can I have a thanks. So, well, we are from Russia, and that can be a little bit challenging because it's a different economy completely, and supposed to be fine with PayPal because PayPal is working. We have a PayPal, but not for the business, like a private PayPal. Do you think that's going to work?
Yes, it'll work fine. You can attach a personal or a business account with PayPal. Yeah, you're right. Stripe don't want to play in Russia.
No.
Yeah. Who knew?
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Will we have to make an invoice for each donation? No.
I don't think so.
Well, sorry, but I think in Portugal they do. Yeah, in Portugal you'll have to make the invoice.
We have the private account, or either we have a private account, or if it is the business account, we have to do an invoice. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you use Stripe to your personal account and then you don't claim the expenses and commit fraud, then sure. But I think in Portugal you'll need to actually you'll need to invoice them, and you need to do it as soon as the payment goes through. But we can also, Benedita, you and I can discuss that a little bit further, because there might be a way of handling that smoothly with the PMS.
Okay.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
I have one very quick question for all of you. How many of you guys are using Front Desk Master, the software, the PMS platform?
Myself, Benedita. No. From the people on here, I think David is as well. If it's the David, I think it is.
So 2 or 3 then?
3 in this room. 4. Julie as well.
Okay.
So 4 of this 20, but I mean, there's panelists that don't work in hostels. And actually, I see that Matt's here from Front Desk Master himself, so he uses it.
I'm just writing him an email response right now. Hey, Matt.
Hey, guys. It's Matt here.
Hey, Matt.
Hey.
Hey. Sorry, I was, you may hear my kids in the background, but I guess you all understand the situation right now. So yeah, I'm not only from Front Desk Master, I actually have also the hostel, which is not signed up yet for the Adopt Hostel, but it's really nice meeting all of you. And I believe Lee was asking the question because indeed we are considering to actually making it a bit smoother to actually helping to redeem the cards, which are going to be purchased through the Gift Up program. So whenever we move on with that, you will for sure hear about that from Adopt Hostel, and then you will get all the information for those who are for those this information is relevant. So good luck with the project. Sounds like I'm happy that you're fighting for that. You know, I myself am a believer and in hostel industry, so whatever helps. Thanks.
And thank you, Matt. It'd be great to have you on board in Front Desk Master, not just with the ease of use for people redeeming gift cards if they use Front Desk Master, but having your support and getting the word out there to hostels and getting them to sign up will help build this campaign as well. So I'm glad to have you here.
Certainly, certainly. Whenever everything is finalized, we'll be happy to help as much as we can. We understand that this is not really the moment, you know, to do the business. It's the moment to help and to support each other. So whatever we'll be able to do, we will do that.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah, Jose. You're unmuted.
Yeah, now yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, continuing with the payment process, I choose PayPal because I thought it was cheaper than Stripe, but if you say cheaper Stripe, I can change to Stripe. I feel more comfortable with the Stripe. Just one question is about that. You can really go during all the process to go back and change things on Gift in the website or not? So, or whatever you choose now, you cannot change anymore during the campaign.
From a technical perspective, you can go in and change your settings in Gift Up as and when you wish.
I want to launch really fast and put everything now and choose, and then I decide, okay, now I want to change to a Stripe.
Of course, you can do that as and when you wish. Yeah, you can disconnect. You can disconnect PayPal right now and attach Stripe right now.
The design for the voucher, for example, for me, I follow all the steps, but in the last point when you need to put the logo inside of the house, as you were advising, for me, yeah, I'm really bad with that. So I stop it there. But but you can change that anytime, as Lee said. Yeah,
so
this was my question.
Yeah, you can just put the card that we sent out without your logo. And by all means, if you can't do it, I'm sure if you just sent us an email and said like, guys, can you please help me? Here's my logo. I think it would be a 2-minute job.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm happy to put logos in it. Take me like 15 seconds, so just send it to us. It's fine, don't worry.
No, and I'm sure, now we have all time at home to do this kind of thing, but I was just, as you say, it's really important we launch this as soon as possible to start with the campaign. So, just asking about that is fine to put now as it is, and then do change as soon as we got more knowledge.
Yeah, as long as you followed all the steps that we have, you can always go back and change something like change the card or whatever. But for now, if the only thing you're waiting for is to put the logo on the card, just put put the card that we sent without your logo. Send us an email with your logo, and we'll do it for you, and then get around to changing it when you can.
Yeah. Also at the same time, like trying to understand why, as you said before, like Leo, that there were not many people, or I think it's also some people, entering the website. Me, I feel kind of comfortable with this thing, and it took time to me to understand. It is a easy process, but it's true that it's a long process. And when you want to create different voucher with different amount, I guess for some hostel owner, it's not that easy. I guess also depend on the generation, or depend on the time, or depend on whatever. So yeah, I believe, or we need to believe, that it was matter of time, or something like that. But I'm sure many people want to join.
And we're happy to help people. The only thing is that unfortunately what I saw today shocked me, because it's not that, like, there were some people that didn't understand fully a concept and did something wrong, but the majority, I think, just signed up with Gift App and sent us a link without even, like, not even the link that we requested, you know. So I think people are like, and I get it, you know, like, we want to jump on this as soon as possible and make it happen. But it just takes up our time then to look up and say, like, okay, but you haven't even followed any of the steps, you know? So by all means, if somebody follows the steps and sees that something they can't figure out, or they have a question, we're here to help.
Also, it's an interesting thing, this, that it's a Friday. We don't really believe it's a Friday, because for some of us, especially in Spain or Italy, Portugal, every day is the same, but it's true that it's still a Friday for many people. So it's a difficult day always for meetings, work meetings. So maybe we can also talk about that.
Yeah, we're actually thinking, because at least Hostel.Consulting, we're thinking of continuing some sort of group chat, you know, like, while people, to talk about whatever. It doesn't have to be coronavirus or Adopt a Hostel, but just to have like a chat about everyone's situation, how they're doing, if they have any questions. And we're probably going to move that to more like a Thursday or a Wednesday. We'll send out more info. We'll probably make it so that it's the same meeting link, so that people don't have to continuously sign up.
Yeah, good idea.
So we're going to have to think about the process of how to do this so that it becomes successful, and then we'll communicate that. So yeah, Fridays are not a good date. Actually, as well, we have a lot of people from Israel that are part of Adopt a Hostel, and for Israel, Friday afternoon is really bad. If they're religious, they're not even supposed to be on a call. But not just that, it's like family time, and so yeah, we're thinking of moving this to another day. So hopefully we'll see you guys on a different date, and it'll be more successful. Benedita.
Is this, I haven't understand 100%. So Adopt a Hostel is the name of the campaign, and Gift Up is one of the issues that you deal with this campaign, Adopt a Hostel, or are they two different things?
So Adopt a Hostel is the campaign, and Gift Up is a supporter, we'll say. So they're like, Lee's here with us to make sure that, you know, like, he can help if and to know what the situation is with the campaign. Matt from Front Desk Master is here also because he would like to help out. You know, Stay the Night is an independent company, and they're doing everything. Thank you very much, girls, to make sure that this is successful and gets marketed out there. Kash is his own brand, the Budgettraveler, and he's going to do his part to make sure that this then goes out to the travel community as much as possible. Hostel.Consulting is completely separate, and we're doing the support to help people with the gift cards, to set them up, to make sure that everything goes smoothly. We're also going to be reaching out and getting word out there to the media as well. So
yes, I understood this everything, but my question was, so Adopt a Hostel is the campaign, and it's all about gift cards and promoting the gift cards.
Yes, and we actually even had some people ask, they're like, we're not using Gift Up, but we sell our own vouchers, can we join? And the answer is yes, you can join, but you need to use Gift Up, because we need to make it very simple for people to see the campaign, go on the website, and it's all in one place. It's not like, I mean, one thing that we thought of at the beginning is, okay, we can just have links to people's hostel website and get them to purchase it there, but it's just, then it's like, you know, what if somebody doesn't use Gift Up or uses it in a different way? What if somebody doesn't actually have a way to, and then you have to email them to get a gift card, and then how do they redeem it? So it just, yeah.
I understood. Now I understood. The concept was not very clear in my head, but now I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. Anyone else?
Hi, I have a question.
Sorry.
I haven't received any of the emails that you were talking about for the setup and everything. So could you please email me with all the information so that I can read it out and I can start following all the guides?
Rosie, do you want to take this, or Charlotte?
I'll take it. Have you signed up via the form?
I don't know. I received the email for the call, but I don't know if I have to sign up anywhere.
Yeah. So I'll put the link in the chat on here, so anyone that hasn't signed up can sign up for it, and from then you'll then start receiving the welcome emails from Adopt A Hostel. I'll do that now for you.
Thank you.
Julia.
Hi, Julia. Sorry if I've lost the first 10 minutes of the meeting, so I don't know if you talk about that already. I got stuck at the payment method because I barely know how PayPal works. And I've understood it's not the most convenient option. So my question is, how does Stripe works? Because I've heard about it, but I have no idea. Like, can you get the money at some point directly on your bank account? Because I know for PayPal, you can only use it if there is any option to pay something with PayPal. Otherwise, you have to pay a commission to get the money. How does Stripe works?
Stripe is a card processing network, and they basically allow you to have a credit card entry form on a checkout somewhere, and ultimately the customer types their card details into that checkout form, and it goes into what's called a Stripe balance. It's just a number on a program, and within about 2 days it appears in your bank account. It is incredibly simple. They are the absolute golden boys of the fintech world these days. So they're the people that everyone goes to, and it's a really great product. They're basically a credit card. It's like you signing up for WorldPay or some of those more traditional, old school credit card companies that you might, as a hostel, have used. But it's a more modern version of that. That's the same.
Yeah, so I actually, I remember I set up with Stripe maybe 2 years ago when I had to start being a real business and accepting credit card. It was quite easy, I remember. So it's a very easy setup. It's just go to Stripe, set up, they'll explain everything, and then you can link it in. Now, Lee, I have a question about that that I just remembered. When I was, because I also did my own gift card setup just to make sure that I understood the process and to create the tutorial. Stripe, when I connected it, in your own tutorials, you have all these different payment methods that can also connect to Stripe. And I went to Stripe to try to do it. And I almost did it, but then it was like I had to accept so many different terms and conditions that my question is it really necessary? Is that going to stop people from purchasing?
Depends. If you're in Germany, where credit cards are the cardinal sin, then you need something else. But in most in the UK and the US, and that's all I can really talk about, because I'm not, I don't widely travel Europe, so I can't speak for every single country where you guys all live. But if credit cards are the norm, then Stripe's out of the box experience, where it's a credit card first or debit card, will work very well. We support things like SEPA direct debit as well through Stripe. You might wonder, how does that work with a gift card? Because direct debits aren't exactly instant, are they? But it does. We also support Multibanco, which I think is a Portuguese one.
Yeah. Or Spanish. Portuguese, I think, yeah.
Yeah, Multibanco, Portuguese, yeah. But basically every single European country seems to have a banking backbone alternative rather than a credit card alternative in terms of a payment method as a nationwide kind of thing. Like in the Netherlands, quite commonly they'll use Ideal, which is where all of the banks in the Netherlands got together and said, let's just give it to Visa and MasterCard. Let's just become a competitor, basically. but back it by the with the banks, and it's a lot cheaper, basically, and just as good.
So, but I guess the question is it not that it's necessary, but is it really useful to go through all that setup steps?
That is a personal decision that I can't possibly answer. If I use the Netherlands as an example because they are very favourable towards their own payment system as a country. So they'll be like, do you support Ideal? If you don't get the business. Whereas it seems maybe in this room, perhaps credit cards are the first and foremost way of transacting money from customers, which is what I'm more familiar with. So if there was a payment, if you were in the Netherlands, you'd know what Ideal was already. I wouldn't have to tell you. The fact that you're asking the question suggests that perhaps it's not that necessary. It's a secondary thing.
Okay, thanks. Well, I guess also to take into consideration that we're going to be sending this out worldwide. So if it's something that's going to make it so that people in Germany or in Holland are less likely to support because they don't want to put in credit cards, then yeah, we'll have to think about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I say one thing? Just you guys already know this, that when it comes to credit cards, in case the company does fail, your credit card company will refund you the money. So credit card is always the best method of payment for hopefully none of you guys will fail, but I'm just saying it's always something I advise to people to always use credit cards. So anyway.
That is true. However, also ultimately they will try and claim back from you, the owner. But also debit cards, certainly in the UK, and I'm not sure how widely adopted this is, but debit card banks basically are offering very similar credit protections to consumers, as well as to be more in line with the credit card company. Obviously, the credit cards are backed by what's called the Consumer Credit Act, certainly in the UK. That means they're forced to give you the money back. And debit card companies, the banks, are falling generally in line with that as well. So it's not just credit cards; it can be debit cards as well. Just yeah.
Marco.
Yep. Hi. Yeah, quick question. The hostel description that will go on the next to the hostel name, I guess, on the website, Adopt A Hostel website. Is it that text that we enter when we send the form to you guys that will go directly there, or will we be able to change it later on? Because what I did was initially during the GiftUp setup, I put the text, a longer text next to the gift card description. And then so later that in the guide it said to just put one short sentence, which made sense. Otherwise, I think it would show like each gift with a long description, which wouldn't really look neat. So then I copied that text and put it into the form that I sent you, and I'm guessing there will be one unique description next to the hostel profile. But will we be able to change that later?
You want me to tell that? Sorry, do you mean the Google form? Yeah, with the hostel. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Ideally, for other people signing up, obviously, if you can put it straight in there, it just makes it easier for us at the back end. But if you do want to change it, that's fine. Just send us an email and let me know to our Adopt A Hostel email address. Yeah.
Okay.
No
Thanks,
worries.
Rosie. Thanks.
About the language, that in the beginning you can choose like one language or a second language, no? You are advising all of us to continue with English and add a second language, or?
I would say that English as the primary language is necessary, but then if you want to add another language, you can go ahead and do so.
But it's like you need to translate, or the gift card is doing something?
Well, I'll let Lee answer that.
Thanks, Leo. What a bummer of a question that one is. So basically, we have an article on our help center for how to deal with multi-language installations. Read that.
Okay. Like because I think one of the challenge now is focus now in the domestic market, no? So, and I think many of our network in Spain or friend or family, maybe they are happy to help, but I feel that our friends and family are not really good in English, so we will need to do it in Spanish.
So just to say, in the marketing guide that we'll send, there will be templates for emails, for example, and social media posts that you can put out to your own networks, family and friends, and then you can translate. I can't write it in Spanish, unfortunately, but you could then translate them and use those templates to reach out to those networks in their own language.
Thanks.
Yeah, the only thing is I would ask that, again, that the primary language be English, because at least we're hoping to get a big audience to the Adopt a Hostel campaign. So when they select your hostel, they should see it in English because the website is going to be in English. So it's obviously English speakers that are going to be there or ones that are translating it. And then they, if they want to switch to a language that you have, that's great. Obviously for your own audience, if you want to set it up fully and well in Spanish or whatever other language, go ahead and do so. That's great. But it's just not necessary for the campaign, or I wouldn't ask everyone to do that because it's not as necessary for the whole campaign. And Luba.
About currencies, because does it supposed to be the same currency or everybody can go with their own currencies? And that comes together with the little other economic problem of Russia, because exchange rate is always changing. So if, for example, they purchase in dollars and they have purchased, I don't know, $100, it is not the same value through the times, unfortunately. So this is kind of a little bit funny. So I don't know how it is made. So do they purchase it in different currencies, or do they choose the currency themselves? How does it work?
So with GiftUp, you configure your entire account in one currency.
Okay.
If you're, let's assume you're using PayPal, because I think you said you were using PayPal. Mm-hmm. So providing PayPal support rubles, which I think they do, as you would have said, then the transaction happens directly in rubles. We expect you to have Russian customers transacting with you as a Russian business, and there's absolutely no foreign exchange charges from us whatsoever. Daddy. Hello. Biscuits. 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 They're in the kitchen, I think. Over here. So, okay, Miles, we will do in a bit. I'm on the phone. Can you come say hello? This is my little boy. You gonna say hello? He's got his little hat on. He was, oh, hello. Riding his bike outside. Keep giving me some peace.
Максим, скажи тоже привет. Иди сюда, иди сюда. Ну, скажи Васику привет, давай.
Right. He's off.
I have one here as well.
So your GiftUp account has one currency. We expect you to transact in that. If does that answer your question, or does it not? I think it should.
I think so. Yeah. So they purchase in rubles and they're gonna have it in rubles. So that's
correct.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Well, it's almost exactly an hour. So I don't know if you guys want to end this, or I mean, we could just unmute and discuss or whatever. But if anyone else has any comments, questions, suggestions, everyone's all good?
We probably a lot of other questions will come out when all the setup is done or during the process. But now we don't have it.
Yeah, and I see that somebody, was it Charlotte or somebody put, yeah, Charlotte put the email AdoptAHostel@gmail.com. If you have any questions or support, I mean, those of you who have my contact, reach out to me. Those of you who reach out to Stay the Night can reach out to Stay the Night. We're all here to help. Kash as well. And Kash wants to say something.
You're muted.
Okay, I just wanted to add one thing to let you know is that we, my other half, some of you may know Sabrina, my other half, is we're putting a video together where we're interviewing 3 hostel owners to help push the campaign out on social. And so we'll have that video to share. I believe we also are working on a press release with Rosie and Charlotte. So we'll also have a press release which you can then adapt and input your own quotes in, which you can then use for your own media context. I really strongly emphasize that you use your media contacts within your country for this campaign, because this is the kind of campaign that I think would capture the imagination of every local national media at the moment, because they're desperate for good stories, and there's no good stories in the press at the moment. It's all doom and gloom. So the world needs a bit of positivity. So really use this chance to really emphasize the importance of why people should support your hostel, and really maximize it, because I really think this has an important message to say, that, and I think everybody would want to support it both locally and also internationally. So yeah.
Also, to go on that, to go along with that, if anyone is or knows of hostels that are doing something extraordinary in this time to help, whether it's giving out their beds and rooms to healthcare workers, or if I've heard of hostels that are housing homeless people currently. So if there's anything that your hostel or a hostel that you know is doing to really step up, I guess, during these crisis times, it'd be great to be able to get that out to the media, because it's going to help us show that what hostels are to people that don't understand, and show a good story in order to gain traction as well for the campaign. You know, like we have to make sure we're not putting this out there as like it's just a failing business, you know, because they'll just say, oh, well, there's lots of failing businesses right now. But we need to show them what is a hostel concept, and the risk of it being extinct if they don't survive this. So they need to kind of understand, and we need to hit the heart as to why hostels, and not just save whatever business, you know? All right.
Can I have one? I have a technical question since you're all here, because I'm signing up with GiftUp now, and I'm a little bit confused. Update an item, and there is a service fee setting, which is supposed to be flexible. So they're supposed to choose whichever they like, but it's written price to charge the purchaser, and it's like one price. So do I put the minimum price there, or? Because that was not, I already looked through instruction, but I didn't find it there. Or maybe I just didn't look properly.
If I don't know if that's for me or Lee, I guess, but from my understanding, you're just creating an item, right? You're creating the gift card item.
Mm-hmm.
Just put in how much you want as the gift card value, and don't add any service fees, because I think if I'm correct, GiftUp gives you the opportunity for the consumer to pay their part of the commission or a service fee in creating the gift card, which right now there's no commissions, so you're not gonna, we don't need to decide whether we charge that to the customer or take the hit ourselves.
Okay, because it says that it cannot be zero, it should be greater than zero. So then I was lost. So I have to put something there. Like
yeah, we suggested like, I think it was 25, 50, 75, 100 euros. But of course, in your own currency and your own average daily rate, you consider, I mean, if somebody sent out a widget and it had, I think it was 20, 30, 60, and that was it. You know, so everyone can create their own, but have 3 or 4 gift cards with values. I suggest 4.
Okay, so for every gift card, for every value, I create new gift card.
Yeah, for every value, you create a new gift card. Yes.
So here I put the lowest one, and then I'm going up for.
Yeah, and I would suggest, we don't have this on a tutorial, but I would suggest you actually put the dollar value or the monetary value on the name of the gift card. Yeah, so it's going to be a little redundant. It's going to say 20 euro gift card, 20 euros, but it'd be good to have that value in the name of the gift card, because then if they apply a coupon, for example, they'll see that they're getting a 20 euro gift card for 18 euros.
Okay, I can read it. I can write it in description that the currency exchange is changing, but 1,000 rubles is approximately, I don't know, 13 euros, for example. and that can make it probably.
Do you need to do that, Lee? I don't think you need to do that. I think it's just going to charge them in your currency.
Okay.
They're going to see. They're going to see your currency.
Okay.
So just make it a round number for your currency, and then when they pay, like if I buy it from you, I'm going to buy it in euros, and I'm going to see how much it costs me in euros, but I'll see the value that I have.
So in the name of the certificate, I write the same amount in my local currency as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks. It's perfectly clear now.
Cool.
A suggestion, maybe would it be useful to add also a custom amount that's not a donation, like that's still a gift card, but
yeah, that the thing is that that would be ideal, but there was no way of creating a donation with gift up the way it is. I mean, like it's not meant as a donation payment. So I kind of did this workaround in how we can make it clear that people can donate. And Lee actually said to me, we could do it reverse. We could make it so that the item is the donation and the custom amount that somebody puts is the gift card. But I thought it would be much easier, at least for me, it seems easier as a consumer to understand that these are the gift cards. And if I put in an amount here, it's a donation. Of course, if somebody wants to buy, let's say you have 25, 50, 75, 100. If somebody wants 200, they could always buy 2 €100 gift cards.
Yeah.
Benita, you muted yourself.
Lior?
Okay. Is there a chance to put like how many gift cards you want to give from a certain amount, like the way you choose how many bags?
Yeah, as soon as you select the item, it'll ask you how many of that items you want.
Lior?
Yes.
I understand that actually the biggest challenge of this campaign is actually promoting it within people who may be potential buyers, so people who love traveling and who love hostels. So if I may, a suggestion, I don't know if you've thought about it, but the question here would be how to make the social posts which you are going to create viral, how to make people to repost them and to send them to friends who may be potentially traveling, not just an information which can be attractive for them, but to give them incentive to actually send it to somebody else. And given that we will all have probably a lot of beds to offer in the future for free, because there's going to be very little opportunity cost because our occupancy probably is not going to be very high in the future, maybe an idea of creating kind of a prize throughout the campaign. So, so buy a gift card and get a stay for free in the future also, or get a gift card for free. But just, I'm thinking from the top of my head right now, but just to give somebody who's a hostel lover also the reason to send it to all his other friends as something attractive. So I would look for this virality here in the marketing campaign.
I'm sure Stay the Night's going to want to talk to that.
Yeah, hi, sorry. So in terms of the social media, I mean, that's something we do. It's basically our day job to get things to be shareable and to share content that really resonates with people. I think I touched on a little earlier that in this case, it will be the emotional angle. It'll be trying to get, say, testimonials from people who've stayed with you and who want to support you on like maybe why they've supported you. We've created templates for Instagram where people who have bought a voucher can then share, and we've encouraged them to tag a friend. We were thinking down the line to look at things like competitions or a prize, and it's something we've discussed as a team, but we haven't solidified anything with that yet. And so I don't want to speak too much on it at this stage, but we are thinking about how to get this out wider, and also the PR campaign will be a big part of that. I don't know if you want to say something as well, Kash.
I was going to add to that is, Matu's great point, because I think the key thing is here, it's in the hands of every hostel owner to maximize this campaign based on what they offer. So we're giving everybody the flexibility so that if somebody wants to offer a gift on top of the gift card, they can offer that. So if somebody comes and says, we're going to buy the gift card, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I know that Illudini backpackers in Hogsback in Western Cape in South Africa, they're offering to plant a tree for every person that buys a gift card. So I think it's the initiative of every hostel owner to it's up to every hostel owner what they want to offer, because the problem is, I guess, is we don't want to, you know, apply one thing upon every hostel owner. It's up to every hostel owner how they want to promote this to their audience. But it is, as I said, an option that each hostel owner can offer as a special surprise gift or something. So whenever somebody buys the gift voucher, you can email them back and say, please spread the word and we'll give you a bottle of wine or a surprise gift. I don't know. It's up to each hostel owner how they want to use it.
Yeah, Matt, also we, I don't know if I wasn't sure if Rosie spoke on it, but we've included marketing resources to use. So like there will be a call to action button. This is one of those things which is why important that we all set it up the same way and are verified that everything is done correctly. Because when people buy it, there's going to be a call to action link, and that link will send them to a template for an Instagram story where we get them to tag somebody and to tag the hostel that they adopted. So hopefully with that, when people purchase a gift card, then they'll be communicating it with their audience as well. And about cash, of course, if anyone wants to put something on top of like an incentive for people that buy gift cards, that will be communicated on their own marketing, not necessarily on our site. I mean, for example, planting a tree for every donation, of course, if that's true, we're going to communicate that to build the campaign. But what we have to be careful to do is we can't be policing people to make sure that they do something. So for example, if I say, for every gift card, you get a free night or something like this, I can't then police that a hostel that signs up to to Adopt a Hostel will actually redeem a free night to that person's gift card, which is why the discount of the 10% is something that I can police. As people are signing up, we can make sure that they have that promotion code in order to give that value to the person as a thank you at the time of purchase, not afterwards. But if somebody wants to add something else afterward, I know there's people that add a discount to the total accommodation on any reservation that uses a gift card. So that's great. It's just that we're not going to ask people to do that, nor police it. The only thing we're asking for is this 10% discount promotion. And we're also, like Charlotte or Rosie said, we're discussing about a possible prize giveaway that we can do and to make this go viral. Okay. Jose?
Yes. Well, talking about that, and also that Lior, you mentioned before, like, also making me worry, like people thinking why to give money to hostel when there are other people suffering like them, or people suffering more in other countries or whatever. I know maybe it's too much, but thinking to instead of giving discounts or giving something, maybe we can really all donate a percentage to a global thing, like a charity or something. So it's not just to help us, but also that we are contributing something to a specific thing. I don't know. So because yeah, I'm worried a bit about this campaign about Adopt a Hostel sometimes. Like people will say, okay, you are suffering, but everyone is suffering. And there are people that maybe think, why give money to a entrepreneur and not to someone that is really, right. I mean, I'm suffering a lot, but I assume there are people suffering more than me. So I don't know if we can connect these two. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, first of all, that's something that we're working really hard, Stay the Night, Kash, and Hostel.Consulting, in getting the word out there or communicating in a way that people understand what's the difference between a hostel or an independent hostel and, for example, the bar down the street that's closed. I mean, the bar down the street that's closed, there will always be bars, and as soon as we get out, people are going to go out to those bars, and they just have to withstand the time that we're in isolation, being closed. Whereas hostels, and what differentiates hostels from hotels, we kind of need to tell that story and show that we're at a higher risk because our industry can just completely go extinct, because it's not about when people just get out of their homes that our business picks up again. These homes that we've opened up to travelers all over the world might not reopen because of this, because people stop traveling. Now people are in financial situations and are less likely to travel. We have to wait for all the countries to open up their door and wait for them to be in the financial situation to travel. So I think the message just needs to go out there to show why hostels, right? Why not just like whatever failing business? And the charity thing, I think is a great idea. But this kind of goes back to, how do we police that? If we say, let's say 10% of all revenue will go to a donation, then we're not the ones that are getting the money and distributing it. I would then have to go to people and police that they donate that amount to this charity. So it is something to think about. I think it's great if we kind of make it a little bit more about a community and not just about a business owner. It's just, we would have to really think about the logistics of it. And we're trying to also at the same time trying to keep it as simple as possible for people to understand and to donate, and also for the hostels to actually sign up and do it and get involved. So with everything that we kind of add, it makes it a little bit more difficult for people. And again, we just want to keep it simple for people.
Can I just add to this step, because this was something that I earlier in the week was quite concerned about, and so we had a conversation, because as in we all know the gravity of the situation worldwide, and no one here is thinking that hostels are the absolute worst off in the world. However, in this specific industry, in the specific travel industry, there are still serious problems. So we are conscious of balancing it, that we're not going to suddenly say this is the worst thing in the world, like poor hostels, poor this, poor that, but it is a serious situation. There are hostels that you travellers have got a really emotional connection with that you might not be able to go to again if they can't make it through. So I think it's putting that point across without saying kind of woe is me, and kind of taken away from valuable charities that are doing serious work in this time. So we are conscious of that. We're not going to start a really sad campaign. It's a positive thing. It's a positive thing that we're doing this, and that we want to give a boost to the industry rather than kind of going down the negative, sad route, if that makes sense.
All right, I'm gonna unmute myself and end the call, I think. If anyone does have any more questions, again, the AdoptAHostel@gmail.com, you can email us there. Keep an eye out for our mailing. You can join the Facebook group, which I think also was linked in the chat. So if you didn't already, click on it now, because when I end the call, the chat will go away. And thank you everyone who's involved. I really want to take the time to thank Lee for being involved in this, and for your very generous offer that I know was not exclusive to us. You're giving offer to other people, and it's really awesome that you guys are doing something to help the situation for everyone. And guys, please do help us by spreading the word out there to hostels right now, not to your travelers. That will come later. But right now, please support this by telling people about it and getting them to sign up, because I fear that of the 80 that we currently have, how many will not complete the gift up properly, will not be ready for when we want to throw this out to the media, and then we open up with a campaign with only 10 hostels that are part of it, and it doesn't have a big reach. The more hostels we have on here, the more reach we will get, and therefore the more donations we will be able to get to you. So do get the word out there. tell people about this. I fear that if we're the ones communicating it, people think it's a sales pitch or they think we're getting something out of this. So some people are just resistant and saying, okay, like something else that a business is trying to do to capitalize on this crisis. I'm not sure, but it'd be great if it came from you, their peers, and that you were to help us to communicate out there in the hosteling world to get people to sign up for this campaign and be part of it. All right, guys.
To launch the website or no plans?
We're planning on launching the website next week, but again, it depends on everybody else doing the work, that we have a good amount, that everything goes well. So hopefully next week, and we actually want to do it early next week. So when I say next week, I don't mean Saturday, Sunday. So we want to do this ASAP, get the word out there to people. Again, the more we get signed up now, the better it's going to launch.
Yeah,
so,
sorry, just to cut in that, the website is pretty much good to go itself as a platform. It's just we want to launch it with a significant number of hostels on there already, which means people going through the setup process and stuff, just to add to that, Leo. So it's not that we're, yeah, it's ready, but we want to, when people land on there, we want them to see that the campaign's been backed, basically.
Cool. Hi, Ferdi. I saw your message in the chat.
Just to say thanks, everyone. It's the first time I'm into this chat and group, and it's a great pleasure being here. And thanks a lot for the job you're doing, guys. It's great. I will try to spread this campaign with other Italian hostels. Marco, I guess you are in Hostel Unity as well, are you?
No, I'm in Spain. I'm in Granada.
Okay. So I thought you were from you were here in Italy. So we have a small group, Facebook group. Someone joined the campaign. Better inscribe. So I will try to keep them updated, and let's see, to do a great job together.
Thanks, we'll appreciate that, of course. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your Friday and weekend. Get your setup done, and we'll talk soon. Ciao, guys.